Im tirtzu, ein zo agada. If we will it, it is no dream. These words resounded for us through the mouth of Theodor Herzl as we envisioned creating the modern state of Israel. And we too have dreams, we too have hopes, and together with our will, we will make these dreams come true. Before I begin with my official remarks, which for those of you that are timing me, whatever, I'd like to invite Jordan Emerson back to the stage. Jordan. Uh-oh. So Jordan talked about his time on the board. Jordan's journey to come to the board started at a meal, come up here, that Isaac and I had with him where we explored what Jordan was interested in, what his passions were, what were the things that he could contribute. And we invited Jordan to the board, and in his first year, Mary Cochran, who was the board chair at the time, established a Tikkun Olam committee. And we began to look at projects that we could do out in the community. And we identified as our first project that we would paint transitional housing units at the Pio Decimo Center. And we needed to go down there and spend what seemed like originally a couple hours and turned into a number of days. And Jordan was there. He was all in. He was there to do whatever was necessary. But in typical Jordan fashion, he wouldn't do it alone. And what he did was he brought his kids with him. Again, generation to generation, teaching what being involved in community service is all about. Fast forward in 2016, we had an issue with some security, and we recognized that we needed to go through a process and upgrade the level of security at the J. And we needed a board member to help lead that process. And once again, there was Jordan. From doing things that might just be fun like painting to being involved in very serious projects. As Jordan was getting ready to assume his time as board chair, as he mentioned, we were going to go through a strategic planning process. This was a seminal moment and we needed real leadership. And Jordan agreed to lead this process. Jordan gathered a group of community volunteers, board members, and staff who came together to create the strategic plan that has been one of the things that has propelled us forward. But more important than that, Jordan doesn't answer my emails at 3:45 anymore, but at one time he did. But Jordan has been a partner. Jordan has been a counsel. Jordan has been an absolute pleasure to work with. And most of all, he has been a friend. So, on behalf of the board, the staff, and the community, Jordan, come over here. We give you this beautiful art piece as a reminder of your time.
I love it. Thank you.
So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Todd.
There's Josh Allen. Oh, Jordan, we need a picture. Again, this doesn't count on my time. So I want to, do you see yourself, Sasha? So I want to take a moment as we're beginning to recognize and thank some people who are here with us tonight. I want to thank Johanna Shlomovich, who is the head of THA, for joining us here tonight and for her partnership and the work that we are doing together that is making such an incredible impact on our community. I want to welcome to her first of what I hope will be many JCC annual meetings, the new CEO at Jewish Philanthropies of Southern Arizona, Hava Leipzig-Holzhauer. And I'm grateful that Hava brought her team, Emily and Kim and Jenny and Amy, and of course our remarkable senior community shlicha, Yuval. We stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. We are here in this place and at this time because of the work that many did before us. We've talked about the fact that we've been in this building now for 35 years, but it's before that. In 1955, this organization was established, and on Broadway and Plummer was our home. And many of you in the room have shared stories with me of what it was like to grow up and to go there and to do the things that people are doing here now. That seed was planted, and that journey for the Jewish community began through the JCC at that point in time. We then recognized that it was time to move on, and we became a J without walls for a period of time. And with the creativity and drive of the staff and the lay leadership, we survived and thrived as a group of, if you will, wandering Jews. But during that time, we acquired this piece of property. And many of you in this room were involved and were aware of what that was. And during that time of wandering, we envisioned what could grow in this remarkable place. And in 1987, the leadership of this community had the good foresight to hire my friend Ken Light. Ken guided us through the construction. Ken guided us through the opening of the building. And during his 27 years at the helm of this organization, he made this the premier organization in the country. I would go to conferences and I would listen to Ken talk, and I would take in every word and know that his leadership was the kind of leadership I hoped to grow into as I continued my career. So Ken, thank you for lighting the way. And in door-to-door fashion, Ken has brought his grandson Jaden, who is now working in town and will one day be a leader on one of our organizations. There is a term that Jordan has embraced, past chair. But one of the things that's remarkable about this community is that past chairs don't want to just be in the past. The people that have led this organization continue to be involved, continue to support, continue to provide me with amazing and valuable counsel. They continue to provide this organization not just reflecting on the past, but caring deeply about the future that lies ahead. So I'm going to ask that those of you that are past chairs, and I know you're eating now, please take a moment and stand up, and I thank you. There are visionary leaders who are part of establishing this organization who are no longer with us. And while I regret not having the opportunity to work with them, I am grateful for their contribution. I am grateful for what they have done and the seeds that they planted. And I know that they are looking down and with incredible pride at where the Tucson J is. So thank you all for what you have done. Jordan's mentioned, and a number of people have mentioned, our strategic plan. And on your program, there is a QR code. That QR code you can open with your phone and your camera, and that will take you right to our annual report. The annual report will give you great detail of all that is happening here. I want to highlight a few things. Our plan is based on 5 pillars. Engaging families with young children, innovative Jewish programming, an investment in philanthropy, engaging with the broader community, and technology and infrastructure. I am very grateful to JPSA, who had the foresight and vision to provide us with the funding to go through the process of creating that strategic plan that has been transformational to the Tucson J. The Tucson J is the town square of the community where everyone belongs and some people join. accompanying our strategic plan, we created three North Stars that would guide our path. Greater Jewish community, more vibrant Jewish life, and measurable and intentional Jewish outcomes. These things helped us to form our engagement strategy. We have an engagement strategy that sounds pretty simple. Engaging thousands, counting by ones. We aspire to be both a mirror and a window. We would like to have people see themselves reflected in the programs and services that we offer, and we would like to have people also open a window to what may be possible in the future. We began working with an organization called Gather Inc. One of the first times that we encountered Gather Inc., who is a relationship-based engagement expert, was through a cohort with the Jewish ecosystem of Southern Arizona, established by Jewish Philanthropies of Southern Arizona. We then encountered them a number of times working and training our staff on how to go on coffee dates, how to be involved with others, how to establish relationships for relationships' sake, and to begin to understand the emerging preferences of our community and to do the work necessary in a collaborative way to make those things possible. We are proud to be the implementing partner of PJ Library. PJ Library is a remarkable program for families with young children. The growth in PJ Library over the last 2 years has been in many ways unprecedented. We have more children and more families participating. We have moved the program beyond the book. We have moved the program into families getting to know each other and creating more opportunities for people to come and be together. I am incredibly grateful that we still have the good fortune to work with Mary Ellen Lobel, who's our PJ Library coordinator, for the leadership of Jennifer Selko, who is the director of the program, and Suzette Joffrey, who is one of our new parent connectors. One of the hallmarks of the J has always been our early childhood department. When I got here, we had 19 classrooms. Coming out of COVID, we had 19 classrooms. And then we began to grow. So we took another space inside the building and made a 20th classroom. But the real magic is we then needed a 21st and a 22nd classroom. And we didn't have space. And our partners at Tucson Hebrew Academy said, come and work with us and put classrooms from the preschool at THA and deepen that collaboration and partnership that our two organizations have together. And this fall we'll open that 22nd classroom and we will approach north of 300 children in our early childhood department. In addition to classrooms at THA, we reciprocate and we are going to be teaching the phys ed program to the students at THA. Again, connecting people more deeply here on this remarkable campus that we have the pleasure of being on. We have talked about the growth in philanthropic investment. Fran Katz, who is the remarkable Chief Development Officer here, has taken what we were terrified in our strategic plan to create, which was a goal that within 5 years, between grants and individual giving, we would go from raising $400,000 a year to raising $1 million. Last year, we raised a little over $1.8 million. In the fall, our Arts and Culture Signature Series, we are pleased to say that this fall will be brought to us through the generosity of Mike and Beth Kasser, and that we have created community gatherings. Last year, we brought together synagogues, agencies, and the JCC to create a community Shabbat dinner. Different services in each of our rooms that culminated with 350 people welcoming Shabbat together in our gymnasium because it was too big for this room. In a couple of weeks, Shavuot will be upon us. And it is customary on Shavuot to study all night long. And that used to happen in individual synagogues separately. And with the vision of synagogue leadership and community leaders, we were able to create a Tikkun La'el Shavuot that was here at the J, where over 100 people attended last year, and many stayed until 4 in the morning. Some of us needed to go to bed. And we will be doing that again, and we are very grateful this year for a grant through Jewish Philanthropies and the Palchuk Fund that we have some additional funding to make the program even more special. 35 years ago, this building was built as an asset to the community. And it is our responsibility as stewards of that asset to make sure that we are continually investing. So with the opening of this new ballroom, I did a little looking back. And over the last 10 years, we have put $10 million worth of work into the Tucson J campus. This room is magnificent. It is everything that we would have wanted. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and thank Paul and Alice Baker for their incredible generosity. We work with children, but we also work with seniors. And we have developed a new program that we call Healthy Aging. And one of the signature aspects of that program is our Movement Arts program for individuals with dementia and early onset Alzheimer's. That program decided that it was time to go on their first field trip. They meet here, they do exercise, they move, they do activities, but it was time to get out of the building. So where should we go on our first field trip? Of course, we should go to the Tucson Jewish Museum and Holocaust Center. And a couple of weeks ago, with the guidance of Linda Travis, our remarkable director of the program, we were able to take that group on a field trip, and it was absolutely beautiful. Tuesday of next week, the second large program that will take place here is through the Jewish ecosystem of Southern Arizona, and we will have the second Age Well Day. We have 91 adults that are signed up to come and to learn and to get to know each other and to take part in a really vibrant program that is planned in collaboration across the community. I can't not talk about this moment. The Weintraub Israel Center is a gift to our community. The Weintraub Israel Center was established as a partnership between Jewish Philanthropies of Southern Arizona and the Tucson J. And this year's theme for programming was to be the 70 Faces of Israel, to show all of the different beautiful and wonderful aspects in this remarkable homeland that we have. And a year ago right now, 1,200 people came together under the leadership of Abby Cook and the Weintraub Israel Center Chair Jeff Artsy to create Israel at 75. It was a remarkable celebration. There was so much energy about what was going to be possible in the year to come. And then October 7th happened. The unthinkable. The country was invaded by terrorists, and our world stopped. And I know for me personally, I continue to feel that I have a piece of me that remains in the East while my feet stand here in the West. And yet, the programming of the Israel Center continues. And what you will see next week is a week-long celebration and reflection of what is going on in Israel. And Abby and Yuval and those that are involved have planned a really thoughtful program, kicking off a week from Sunday with Yom HaZikaron and finishing on the 19th with an amazing concert. We will continue to put Israel front and center. We will continue to follow an idea that at least I have, that one of the best ways to connect with Israel is to go to Israel and to meet Israelis. And this summer, the Israel Friendship Caravan will be back at camp, performing for the first time in 5 years, and doing a community concert, and I would encourage all of you to fill this room to make that happen. And we have 2 young people who will join our camp staff, summer shlichim, who have a very specific job at camp, but they have a larger job in terms of representing Israel and telling the Israel story to the children, to the camp staff, and to their host families. After October 7th, we had a gathering in the Joe Rosenzweig Memorial Sculpture Garden where 900 people came to show solidarity and support. We need to continue to show that solidarity and support as we continue to march on through all that has happened, and our resilience will be our strength. We work in partnership throughout the community. An example of that is the Tucson Community Tennis Program. We have, through our tennis program and our partnership with TCTP and the generosity of philanthropists, we have been able to teach tennis to local elementary school children and to use our beautiful facility as a resource for them. In addition, we have worked with the Lapin Sunshine Foundation. And one of the things that the Lapin Foundation has done is they bring therapy dogs here to work with our disability program services. And we are incredibly grateful for their generosity and their vision and their help. But one of the really amazing things that we did was through the Lapin Sunshine Foundation, we went down to South Tucson. And Jennifer and Abby and Yuval and a team brought Hanukkah to an elementary school in South Tucson and introduced the fun and the meaning of Hanukkah and allowed a glimpse, a window, if you will, into Jewish life and giving them an opportunity to engage with Yuval, who they may never have met somebody from Israel before. I cannot say enough about the remarkable staff that we have here at the Tucson J. We have a group of people who give of themselves and who have adopted the philosophy that we are not a nonprofit, that we are a for impact. And everything we do is guided by creating more and more impact on the community that we have the ability and gift to serve. One of the things that we did was we received a grant from the Lovell Foundation and the Safety, Respect, and Equity Network to create a J Culture program to help us work with an organization called Ta'amod to ensure that what the staff encounter is a safe, respectful, and equitable workspace. And with that grant and in partnership with others in the community, we worked with Sacred Spaces to redo our personnel policies. And in redoing our personnel policies, what you will see on your left is the BREAT, the first page of our personnel code that codifies our promise as to what kind of place this place is to work. And our values are strewn throughout the personnel code. On your right is our Daf of Talmud. We needed to create something that would explain to ourselves in the terms that represent our values who we are. And we recognize, like Talmud, it will continue to grow. And we will continue to have conversation about it. And we will continue to find ways to create greater Jewish community and more vibrant Jewish life. Lastly, we also created new salary basements and enhanced transparency as to how all of that comes together for our team. I am incredibly proud of the work that was done. I am grateful to the partnership on the board who helped guide the policy change, and grateful to the staff team who worked to develop it and implement it. I've talked about early childhood. I've talked about seniors, so I guess I'll talk about teens. The Tucson J is proud that our teen program is BBYO. For those of us that were in BBYO, BBYO is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. When I arrived in Tucson and I met with the Nasiya of Kadima, the girls chapter, and tried to understand the depth of the program, what she told me is that between the boys and girls, there were 8 kids that were involved. And we have worked with great intention to grow that program. And Davis Hubble, our teen engagement director, has told me there are now 90 kids in our BBYO program. We were fortunate to receive a grant through Better Together. And in doing so, our BBYO kids go to Handmaker and do activities and play games and get to know the residents at Handmaker on a regular basis. And last week, they created together 200 hygiene kits to deliver to the Primavera Foundation. We will also be joining THA, who is another recipient of the Better Together grant for the year-end celebration. I aspired for us to participate in a program called One-to-One. It's a twinning program for teens, where teens were invited to spend 1 hour a week with a teen in Israel on Zoom, to develop a one-to-one relationship. And I had said to my friend Scott Lazensky, who runs the program, I think we can get 4 or 5 kids to do that. We had 13 teens invest time in getting to know another teen in Israel. And I want to read to you what one of our teens said. I have been talking to my participant from Israel and love it. We have become friends and we text all the time. I love this program and would highly recommend it to others. That, my friends, is impact. What's next? What could possibly be next? What could we do that would represent the animation of our strategic plan, that would bring Jewish peoplehood to life, that would involve a community mobilization like we have not seen in 25 years? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to host the JCC Maccabi games in 2025. From July 27th through August 1st, we will welcome 1,000 teens from North America, from Israel, and from Eastern Europe. And we will engage a couple hundred people on the steering committee that is being led by Barney Holtzman and Kira Holtzman. And again, past chairs don't live in the past. Barney is a proud past chair of this board and was happy to raise his hand to give that kind of leadership. The steering committee and apparatus is led by our Chief Program Officer, Josh Schenker, who has also taken on the additional responsibility of being the games director. And we are proud to have brought here and stolen from my friend in South Florida, Marcus Mendelson, who is the newly minted Assistant Games Director. We will need everybody to be part of this. There is a role and an opportunity for each of us. Be a volunteer, be a committee member, be a host family, frankly, do it all. We only do this every 25 years. It's an incredible opportunity to bring our community together, to provide something that we can be incredibly proud of. And I cannot wait, and I am looking forward to what is ahead. Im tirtzu ein zo agada. If we will it, it is no dream. And together we can make all of our dreams come true. Thank you very much.
Im tirtsu, ento agada, la 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 la, liotam chofshi be'artzeinu, be'eretz Zion, ve'Yerushalayim tirtsu, im tirtsu, ento agada. La 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 la, liotam chofshi be'artzeinu, be'eretz Zion, ve'Yerushalayim.
Good evening, everyone.